Thank you for tuning in to learn more about our products and services. This video is designed for those who have watched a few of the Mastering Math of Business videos, have stopped and thought a little bit about, you know what, that math makes a lot of sense. I would like to get better at that specific area. Or you're recognizing that getting some outside help that approaches things from more of a scientific business science method as opposed to a consulting method. Tune into this video and learn about the power of our products and services. In fact, through this video, you're going to get an introduction to how we came to know some of the things that we know as it relates to how these products and services can be of value to you. So this is all about why you should consider the business CPR products and services. To begin with, it's important to appreciate a couple of things. The platform of capabilities that we have available are intended to accomplish three things. One is to increase confidence, two is to lower stress, and three is to help you make more money. Our whole approach is grounded in you, and it's about positioning you to confidently take actions with less stress so that you can make more money. And we do that by bringing to you a combination of both breadth and depth of experience. When we talk about breadth of experience, it's an array of experiences developed over a number of years. When we talk about breadth, it's those array of experiences coupled with depth of experience in doing things over and over again to make things happen, to get things done, to generate results that improve sales, profits, and cash flow. We do this by recognizing that there are a lot of things going on in a business, a lot of considerations and decisions, actions being taken that all fall into some combination of these things reflected here. In other words, there's always too much to do and not enough time to get it done. Or worse yet, there's time to get it done, but there's not the skill to do it. Or even worse is there's time to get it done, but not the money to help make it happen. And what our products and services are all about is helping bring our breadth and depth of experience and our approach to helping you see what the biggest issues are in your business to identify where are the priorities. In other words, what mix of things happening in here need more focus and attention to generate better results. We do this because of this recognition that not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. And so there's some appreciation of the nuances that are unique to your business. And that's because we appreciate that the only way this happens is if the prices you charge are greater than the costs you incur, the revenue you generate is greater than the expenses you pay, and that the receivables you collect on are greater than the payables you pay out on. When these three things exist in relation to these three things, you'll make a profit. The challenge lies in often many businesses are making decisions that generate costs and expenses without really appreciating the ramifications of those decisions on their profits. And so these businesses that, what I like to say, are making decisions in the dark, are automatically making those decisions and relying on profits to occur by chance, or what I like to refer to as by the hope method. We like to show you a better way. And that better way is to appreciate that these investments that you're making in your business, they don't come easy. And it's important that they be deployed in the best areas within the business to enhance the exchange of value that your business does for your customers so that you make a profit and not suffer a loss. And we know that this happens when actions are being taken that increase your top line, while lowering your expenses so that you can have higher profits. This is what we're all about. And we do this by helping you develop less uncertainty and better asset utilization. Because remember, these assets are what drive your sales and profits. Your top line and bottom line reported on your P&L statement are a function of asset utilization. And where sales and profits get compromised is when there's uncertainty and a lack of clarity on what to do and how to do it. And when that happens, you end up going from a mix of wanting to have fewer liabilities than you have owner's equity, so that owners own more of the assets than the creditors do, to ending up being what I like to refer to upside down, where you owe more money on your assets than what you own of those assets. This is what happens. This scenario here happens in periods of poor asset utilization. So you'll see in some of our other videos that we talk about the scientific method. We explain it and introduce how it works. But what I would like to share with you are some of the findings that we've had as we've entered into businesses and as we've studied them. We've come to some pretty basic conclusions. And that is that 93% of business owners battle some combination of the following problems every day. The first one is not enough sales. This first one, as far as not enough sales, I was about to list them all, but I remember we're building here. The problem with not enough sales is the battle is you're unable to grow sales. And how you know that's a problem is when your current year-to-date sales are less than your previous year-to-date sales. So if your sales are in decline, that means you're unable to grow sales. And that typically has one of two primary issues. Either you're having trouble capturing new customers, or you're failing in retaining quality customers. So your sales are dipping because you don't have enough new customers coming in, or the customers that you have been buying from you are fading away from your business. If that's your problem, one of these two problems, then what you're looking at is do I have, with my capturing new customers, do I have a lead generation or a conversion problem, or both? And if you have a failure in retaining customers, what are the issues with your products and services that need to be fixed? Because people are leaving you because your products and services aren't giving them what they expected. Those are the problems to solve. And the solutions that you lead with is by having processes to generate leads and to convert those leads into new customers through your sales process, or to really dial into who are your best customers, quantify and define them, understand what's important to them so that you can make sure you retain them. So that's the scenario that we've uncovered during our research over the years on what triggers issues with sales. Now let's look at the second battle. So if your battle isn't sales, it's low cash availability. In other words, you're successfully generating the sales, but you're always tight on cash. This is how you know this is a problem. The cash availability is an issue of not having enough cash on hand. And you know you don't have enough cash on hand is when your available cash is below the cash on hand target. In other words, you set a target. This is the amount of cash we want to have in the bank. And if you're constantly down here below it, you have a low cash availability problem. And what you want to do is you want to get above your cash on hand target. This gap here between the cash you have and your cash on hand target, this is the key to improving the quality of your life and reducing your stress. So what are the primary causes of being on this battlefront? Well, the two most common issues are you're spending more than you're taking in, or you aren't collecting the money you're owed. So when you look at businesses that are struggling with cash, most of them, they're spending more than they can than they're selling. But there are also a number of them who have high AR balances. In other words, their accounts receivable is large and it's aged. And those are the people that aren't collecting the money they're owed. And so what's the problem to solve? Well, the problem to solve is to stop spending more than you're taking in or collect the money that you're owed. And so we have products designed around setting up a cash management system so you're better able to dial in your cash inflows against your cash outflows. That's how you protect from overspending, as well as a service that we offer where we actually will come in and will manage your AR collections process so you get paid. That's an example of how to solve the cash availability problem. Let's look at the next one. So if sales isn't an issue and cash isn't an issue, but you're battling weak profitability. In other words, you don't have the cash reserves you want, and your current bank balance is less than your previous bank balance, then you've got profit problems. And those profit problems are going to show up in your gross profit and in your operating income. If your gross profit is decreasing, particularly as a percent of sales, that means your direct costs are increasing faster than your sales are. And if you've got declining operating income, that's either a function of you're not generating enough gross profit to cover your overhead, or your overhead is increasing faster than you're able to grow your gross profit. In both cases, it's weak profitability, but how you solve that is depending on whether the problems in the operating income part of your business are in the direct part of your business. And so this is you're spending more than you can afford. If this is your problem, you've got an unprofitable business model. And what does that mean? Well, that means that you either need to really zero in on where you're losing money. I like to call it the top 5. So quantify my top 5 business loss areas so that I can start figuring out what to do to reduce those costs. Or if you've got an unprofitable business model, it's about building your 24-month profit plan. In other words, it's about dialing in your model so that you can do a better job of converting sales into profits. The next problem area has to do with employee headaches. You got a lot of business owners out there that are doing all right on the sales front. They've got the cash they need. They've got acceptable levels of profits, but they're just constantly dealing with employee headaches. This is a problem for you when you feel you're starting to burn out as an owner and your current year time off is less than your previous year's time off. In other words, if you're finding yourself not in a position to take time off because when you're gone, everything falls apart, then you're dealing with employee headaches. And the most common cause for employee headaches is really my employees don't take initiative. They're too reliant on the owner to give them the answer, and they're not taking initiative, or they don't care. And if they don't care, that's a whole different set of problems. But both of those are the most common causes of employee headaches. So what do you do about it? Well, you got to isolate which of these two is the bigger issue. And the way you look at that is if you have decreasing net sales, i.e. you take your net sales and you divide it by the number of employees, that's a measure of productivity. And so if sales are decreasing and your employee count is up so that your average sales per employee is decreasing, then you've got initiative problems. If you yourself are finding that your wages that you pay yourself are decreasing as divided by net sales, that tells you that your employees don't care. In other words, you're taking less money out, putting more work in, and that's a function of employees not caring. So what do? Well, you design an employee productivity suite that helps you better manage employee productivity, or you document your core processes and procedures so that you can put standards in place that you can hold people accountable for, and then those that fail to perform against the documented standards, you then move them out of the business. In other words, this is the key to implementing a progressive discipline program that is reflected out of some of these employee productivity tools. Let's take a look at the next one. The next one has to do with ownership fatigue. Ownership fatigue is really a subject not only of burnout, but it's just the quality of life is gone. And that's really manifested in itself in your compensation. When your compensation isn't satisfying you for the amount of effort you're putting in, and you're getting a lot of pressure, particularly on the home front because you're not bringing in enough money, that creates a whole series of problems. And so how do you know you've got ownership fatigue? Well, if you can never take time off, that's going to contribute to fatigue. Also, fatigue is triggered by not feeling that you're getting paid what you're worth. In other words, everybody else is getting paid, your employees, your suppliers, but you aren't. In other words, you're paying yourself last, and there's not a lot left over when that comes. So what do? Well, you isolate on the problem. So, for example, if your current net income is less than your previous net income, that means the owner isn't able to leave the business. And so you're in this I can never take time off zone. Whereas if your decreasing owner's comp is best seen by dividing how much you pay yourself by the number of hours you work. So, for example, if you're working more hours and taking less money out of the business, then you're falling into this owner quality of life, which contributes to ownership fatigue. So what do? Well, one thing you do is you develop an accountable management team. This is how you lighten the load and spread the burdens out across the business. Those people that are earning the most, particularly those that are earning more than you, need to be held accountable for the results of their actions. And then the other option is to set up the complete business CPR platform. This is a management system that helps you better stay on top of the key things you need to stay on top of to make more money with less stress. So pause for a moment and think about, if you were to check any of these 5 boxes as far as this is an area you're battling today that you want to stop fighting, think about that for a moment. Then step back and ask yourself, are you looking to use your financial information to play what I call the game of business smarter today than you did yesterday? Those who fail to use their information are those that struggle with having higher profits and better cash reserves because they don't use their financial information. Those who use it experience the opposite. Things go better, their businesses run better, and as a result, they're able to have a life that they enjoy with resources to do the things they want to do. Resources that should be coming to them through their business if they're positioning themselves to own a business that consistently generates sales at a profit with continuously improving cash flow. You do this when you recognize that what you have been doing isn't working. So why choose a business CPR product or service? Because you know that what you're doing isn't working as it should. You know that you don't have all the answers. There's problems that you keep running into, or I like to use the word battling, that you just can't get a solution to. And you've now come to the appreciation or the recognition that you need help. You need the help of an expert to help you achieve better results with less stress. If the above is a yes for you, then you are invited to connect with us and to work with one of our certified business scientists to help you fix what isn't working as well as it should in your business. If this is your situation and you feel you have enough information to talk further, you're invited to go to business-cpr.com scheduler to get started. In other words, you'll get to talk with one of our certified business scientists, and we'll help you dial in exactly where things can improve. If you still need more information and you're just not quite ready to talk, then you're invited to go check out this video, which is to learn which business CPR product and service option is best for me. So this video was about a high-level view of the most common problems experienced by business owners that has shaped the array of products and services we offer. So go to that video if you're looking for more information. If you feel you have enough to start the conversation and you really do want to get started, again, go to business-cpr.com/scheduler and we'll get with you right away. Thanks again for tuning in to this video on why you should consider one of the business CPR products and services. All the best.